What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. Today we're hopping back into X-Men with issue number 20, and if you're hoping for this to be connected to Age of Revelation, it's not there yet. I believe issue number 21 is really going to be picking it up. This comic is going to be facing the consequences of not informing the US government of 3K. We all know that Cyclops, he's been on their trail for a moment, and after this most recent attack at the Alaskan base, with 3K going public, Cyclops is called in by Agent Lundquist. And when Cyclops shows up to the diner, he gets one right across the chin. He takes off his tie. He tells Cyclops to get up, to get on your feet. The two of them are about to work out their issues. And back at home base, we have Kid Omega, we got Magic, and we got Juggernaut. They've been taking all the scrap from around the factory and gathering it all together. After the destruction of Marauder 2, we get a little bit of a history lesson. We learn that Emma Frost stole the Mercury from Eden Rixlow. She rechristened it the Marauder 2, and Kid Omega, he salvaged it. But this Marauder has a biomechanical, shape-shifting kind of UFO capabilities. It's got telepathic avionics, and what he holds in his hand is the living memory core. The idea behind all of this is that he can take this living memory core, he can place it atop raw material, give it the instructions that it's needed telepathically, and it will literally rebuild itself. It will take all the scrap metal, all the components, all the circuitry and everything that it needs, and it will make itself whole again. Back at the diner, we have Cyclops asking, "What the hell, dude?" Like, have you lost your mind? And Lundquist tells him, like, I must have, because I thought we had an understanding. Like, I may not like you much, but I thought you had a sense of what was right. But then this brand new mutant terrorist organization, it announces itself to the world during the vigil. They do a damn press release. Even a manifesto. They claim responsibility for the mutant cantigen, but both of them know that it's not a cantigen. 3K is going around the world turning humans into mutants. And he's telling Cyclops this not to inform him, because he knows this Cyclops already knows. Agent Lundquist is asking, why the hell didn't you tell me? Why did I have to find out through other means? You've known about 3K. You've been knowing about what they've been doing. You've known a lot longer than I have. And he's not here looking for an apology. He tells Cyclops to put up his fists. Now, as we cut over to the factory, we're picking up with Jyn and Beast. Jyn is relatively new. She's one of the mutants that 3K turned into a mutant. And if you guys had checked out the Hellfire Vigil, you saw that the two of them kind of had a moment. We see that they're connecting. There's kind of a spark between them. The only problem, Hank psychologically is still a mess. He's a man that's too focused on his work, too focused on the mission, carrying guilt, shame of not being able to anticipate 3K's movements. So any relationship that might be forming, Beast is definitely icing it down, freezing it in place. He's blocking her off and he's not letting anybody in. But Jyn was also sent an invitation from 3K. 3K is inviting any and all mutants that want to join their cause, with Jyn being a creation of 3K, her mutant gene being activated by them. There is a standing invitation from Cassandra Nova for Jyn to join anytime she likes, but there's also an invitation for Beast. Back at the diner, we have a full-out fist fight. And Lundquist just really wants to know, how long did you know? Cyclops would argue that it doesn't matter, that it has nothing to do with you because 3K is a mutant problem, that they're X-Men business, they're not US government business. But then he asks, what about Ben Liu? Have you just officially made that kid an X-Men now? Like, I know he's here. I know he's in Alaska. I know that he was in town during the night of the giant mutant monster attack. Cyclops gave his word that kid was dead. And Cyclops tells him, like, man, what did you expect from me? Nobody understood what was going on. You guys definitely would have listened. You would have asked me to hand this kid over to the military or worse. If I had done so, you guys probably would have experimented on him, thrown him into a dark cell, or probably killed him. Who knows at this point? But you said it yourself that he was in that town, which means you also know that Ben saved that town. down. Back at the factory, we have Blob and we have Ben. Now, the two of them, Ben's just really having a hard time. Being a mutant is all new for him. His X gene didn't activate when he was a teenager. 3K did this to him, and he has a ridiculous power set. But he's kind of a prick. He's not a nice guy. People call him a jerk all the time. But as he's adjusting to this new lifestyle, he's asking Blob, like, how do you do it? How do you stay happy and sunny all the time? Especially when your X gene, made you look like you do. And for Blob, he's always looked at the glass half full. He wasn't exactly a huge catch before the change, but now he's an X-Men. That's like one of the coolest things that you could be. Besides, back in his Brotherhood of Evil days, back when he was at the evil school, he gave some advice pretty much saying that bad girls dig the skull look. Now, at the diner, we see Lundquist just beat the bricks off of Cyclops. He's telling Scott that you should have told me. After our little showdown, I was on your side. We both wanted Xavier caught. I even told you where to find him. But now, how many people did 3K use as lab rats? We could have stopped him, and we could have done it together. We could have saved lives. But this is when Scott tells him that you couldn't even stop me. You know where I live. You know where my headquarters is. What do you think one is gonna do against 3K? This is when Chief Robbins comes in, taser in hand, and telling them both they need to drop down. They need to put their hands up because they're under arrest. When Agent Lundquist tries doing some insults and saying that this is federal business, she tases both him and Cyclops, drops him down to the ground. Back over at the factory, we have all the X-Men that are gathered around eating dinner, and everyone's wondering, like, where is Scott at, guys? Like, has anybody seen him? Has he checked in? What's going on? Kid Omega telepathically figuring out he got himself locked up. When Psylocke asks if you can telepathically ask the chief why Scott is in jail, Kid Omega says, no way in hell, because I don't talk to cops. Taken over to the jail cell, we pick up with Scott and we pick up with Agent Lundquist. And Scott, he begins to wonder, like, you gotta tell me, is this all personal or is this abstract? Why do you hate mutants? Did someone do something to you? Like, where is all this hatred stem from? And Lundquist tells him, like, I don't hate mutants, dude. I hate you. He said, I hate you, Scott Summers. You're a real piece of work. But I don't hate mutants. The way that he sees them, he refers to a movie made in 2000. I believe it's a Japanese movie called Battle Royale. We've seen other adaptations later on, such as The Hunger Games. But in Battle Royale, we see a group of children in a school on an island. Some dudes come in. They drop a pile of weapons in the middle of the classroom. They put collars on all the kids' necks, and they tell them, last one to survive gets off the island. He brings up this reference because he says some of these kids, they had forks and knives. Other kids had Uzis and handguns. None of the kids in the movie asked for this. Just like none of the mutants asked to have the X gene. But all the same, they did. Nonetheless, some were born with pot lids and forks, others with Uzis and shotguns. And so, by being a part of one, he truly believes that he's doing the righteous thing, that he's evening the playing field, that if there's people out there with shotguns and Uzis, they need to be met by the same kind of force to keep those forces in check. Now, Scott would say that that's a very convenient story that you tell yourself to justify it all. The way Lundquist sees it, everyone has some kind of story. Even Xavier filling your head with all kinds of stories of grandeur and superheroes. Did you even have a decision on being the X-Gene war boy? But Lundquist also tells him that honestly, none of it matters anymore. Once 3K went public, once they realized Cyclops had been Lou, once they realized that Agent Lundquist was lied to all along, he got a new boss. One with a very particular interest in the X-Men. He says that he's a real hard ass. A real nightmare, if you would. But Cyclops might like him, because after all, his new boss is a mutant. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Not a bad story. I was expecting a bigger connection to Age of Revelation, but it appears that that's going to be happening in the next issue. But I did enjoy this one in the aspect that it really did help us learn Agent Lundquist a little bit more. That he doesn't have some kind of anti-mutant hatred. In fact, he just doesn't like Scott Summers. The reality is he sees that there is a power imbalance, and he believes that one is going to be the balance to that power. Whether he's right or wrong, that can be debated all day. But Agent Lundquist also isn't wrong when he says that he could have helped him. They could have done all of this together. They might have been able to take down 3K. But you can also understand where Scott's reluctance to jump in with the US government. After everything that they've lost, everything that they've endured, of course he doesn't want to associate himself with people that are more or less hunting down what they consider dangerous mutants. The bridge of trust and partnership, it's completely broken down. While Cyclops is doing his best to try and do this, we can definitely see that there's a bias to him, but there's also a bias in the humans. With all of this going on and more, we know that Doug Ramsey, aka Revelation, he's going to be showing up at the doorstep of Cyclops. And we've gotten a glimpse of the future that will bring. So I'm very curious on what we're going to be seeing moving forward and how future Scott is going to let himself know what is about to happen is going to change history forever. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that is going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's going to get you completely caught up on everything that is going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50 from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you're getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.